Uh, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Tyrion Cuthbert study as the Arcane. I don't know why I went with this quest, but that's what I went with. Don't worry about it. It's like, it's a two voice. You know? I said it's a two voice! It's a two voice! It's a two voice. I'm two. Hi. It's a two voice. That's what everybody thinks, right? A two voice so flexible. I don't know where it's going. And neither should you. Haha. I love Chu, and I definitely will be doing more with her eventually at some point. At least it wasn't just a close-up of my boobas, right? Right, chat? Just a close-up of the boobs. We don't need any boobas. We don't need you guys to be horny over my boobas. Not tonight, at least. I mean, what? Sorry, I keep forgetting that update the actual. It always slips my mind. Okay. I'll do it eventually. Probably tomorrow, honestly. Because I got a lot going on this weekend, so there may not be a stream this Saturday. Also, if you're wondering how I'm feeling, give me an hour, we'll see how it is. How I'm feeling then. Because I feel fine when I start stream, but then it's like an hour in, and I'm just like, I want to die. No, I'm feeling fine. This is fine. In the great words of Apollo's Justice, I'm fine. Okay? Everything is fine. So let's just play a game. Let's go straight to the courtroom, right? Alright? We got this, guys. Straight to the courtroom. Court is now in session for the trial of Stanford Tyrion. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready. Very well, let us begin the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwing, please list the charges. The defendant is charged with criminal negligence in the death of Justin Way. The death occurred at the Arcane refinery last night. Mr. Wayne was an employee of the Arcane Trading Company, a company owned by the defendant. During our work hours, the victim accidentally broke a poorly maintained safety rail and fell into a vat of coerced chemicals. Attempts to save his life failed, and his body was almost dissolved. I see. What a gruesome end. You don't know what that boy was up to, Your Honor. The defendant displayed a clear negligence in maintaining the refinery's facilities. As such, the responsibilities for Mr. Wayne's death falls squarely on his shoulders. To begin, the prosecution would like to call Noah Morris to the stand. Wow, already with Morris? Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Ah, yes. Name's, Noah Morris. I'm the harbor master at Arcane Harbor. It's my understanding that you witnessed the accident that night. Am I correct? I did. I didn't know why I didn't go pirate with him sooner, man. Could you please testify to the court about what you witnessed? I was showing a visitor around the city, and for some reason he really wanted to see the our next Arcane refinery. He was inspecting the machines there when suddenly, Rika ran up to us. She was desperately trying to tell us something, but there was just too much noise. After a while, she just pointed at the walkway, overlooking the refinery. This is where we saw someone fall into the cursed vat. There was a guardrail that should have been preventing him from falling, but he broke through it as he fell. So there was a safety rail that should have protected the victim. Yes, however, upon closer inspection, the city guard found that the rails were extremely rusted. They were clearly poor maintenance by the company. I see. This negligence is the basis of the prosecution charges. Are you going to present a trace of transmutation that we found? I can't help but feel there's something in Morris's testimony that doesn't add up. Right now, those traces are the only defense we have against Von Sanctus's accusation. It's not a piece that I want to use just yet. It's our trump card after all. And it's not like it's forged or anything. How would you go about forging a magic trace? Especially because the arcane vats are a different type of school magic. I can't remember which one off the top of my head. Once you use that piece, who knows how the judge will react. Not much has changed with Morris's testimony. However, you collected a lot more evidence since you last spoke to him. Is there anything you found that contradicts his testimony? Well, as any good lawyer would, press! This was the patron Was this the patron you mentioned before? Am I correct, Morris? Aye. Aster seems to be keen on keeping his identity hidden. It would probably be best to leave it at that. Aside from being a mage, he has yet given much reason to suspect him. For now... Oh, come on! Why can't we suspect our biggest fan? He would really be happy about being suspected by the one, the only Tyrion Cuthbert. I can't even with that boy. I can't even with my biggest fan, though. Are you referring to Mosrika Tudor, the owner of the local cafe? Aye, for whatever reason, she was also there and she witnessed the accident. Yes, we are already well aware of that. Morka's testimony was a lot less detailed than Morris and Aster's testimony. She is probably more focused on saving Justin than taking in her surroundings. But are there any points where her testimony doesn't add up with Morrison's? Hold on. My glasses are being all derby. Now you might be wondering, Nitro, glasses? You don't wear glasses. You're right. My VTuber doesn't wear glasses, but unless kind of cool sunglasses. You want to go scholar mode, eh? Yeah, we don't need scholar mode right now, though. And this noise came from the machines of the refinery, I presume. Those machines were loud as hell. I could barely hear myself think. Was that noise? There's no way I could hear you going Morika over all that. You mentioned that you saw someone fall into the vat. Did you not recognize the person? Well, I didn't know the lad personally. And it was pretty far away. I couldn't get a good look at the person. Maybe you should keep a pin in that detail. Anyways, could you go into more detail about the moment you witnessed the accident? Of course. What do you want to know about? What happened to the guardrail just before Justin fell? Well, I saw him lean on it. Should have prevented him from falling off the walkway, but the rail just broke in the instant he put his weight on it. That's how he fell into the vat. I see. Could you please include that detail in your testimony? If you think it'll help. And you saw the guardrail break? Aye, it was hard to see most things from that distance, but I definitely noticed that. It definitely made an impression on me. It's like those rails were made out of cardboard. Which only proves our point. A properly maintained guardrail should not have broken that easily. You shouldn't present the magical traces yet. Don't present the magical traces yet. Do not reveal our trump card. There's might be more you can get out of Morris's testimony. Not much has changed about... What was Morika doing the moment you saw Justin fall? I told you, didn't I? She was the one who pointed to the walkway in the first place. That's how we saw Justin fall. I see. Could you please include that detail in your testimony? If you think it'll help. What was your companion doing the moment that you saw Justin fall? Well, he couldn't do much. He was standing next to me. You saw Justin fall into the vat, too. I see. Could you please include that detail in your testimony? If you think it'll help. Did you see the guardrail before Justin broke it? What kind of condition was it in? More specifically, was there any rust on it? I couldn't say I could make out those details. It was pretty far away, and I could barely make out the figure that fell into the vat. I see. Could you please include that detail in your testimony? If you think it'll help. I think I needed the what was Mobika doing. Because it says, pointed it out, that's when we... Objection! Nailed it! Wait, what? Witness, you said that you saw the victim fall into the vat. Did this happen before, during, or after Mobuika tried to get your attention? It was definitely after. If it weren't for the commotion she made, I would have looked up there in the first place. It's just as you saw it, but what does this mean? Morris, I spoke with Moverika about what she saw. She said that she saw Justin fall from the walkway, then rushed to you for help. Aye, that sounds about right. No, Morris. Actually, it doesn't. What do you mean? If Moverika saw Justin fall before she went to get help, then how did you see him fall after she came for you for help? What? Morris, Moverika came to you for help. This was in reaction to seeing Justin fall off the walkway. If that's true, then how could you have possibly seen Justin fall off the walkway again afterwards? I have no idea. Mr. Colbert, you're disrupting the witness's testimony over a minor detail? Yes, minor. Yeah, I know this man. It's entirely possible that Mr. Morrison or Mrs. Tudor simply misremembered. I highly doubt that Morris remembers the order of what happened. His testimony matches up exactly with the testimony of his companions. Then Miss Tudor must have been the one who's mistaken. I'm compelled to agree with Miss Steelwind. The conflicting accounts seem extremely minor. The prosecution's case is based on the broken guardrail, and there's only 3 individuals who witnessed Justin Wade break the said guardrail. And the defense asserts that these 3 witnesses' accounts must be consistent with each other. Otherwise, this evidence is not strong enough to find my client liable. Please. The break in the guardrail was directly over the vat. That's enough physical evidence. That it proves that the victim fell in because the railing broke. How do we know that the guardrail wasn't broken by some other event? That's ludicrous. You're clearly just playing devil's advocate. Isn't that my job? I'll admit, I also find the defense assertion dubious. However, I see no harm in allowing Miss Tudor to testify to what she saw. Rika saw a lot less than Morris and Aster did, and her testimony was a lot less detailed. But the one detail she did remember is that she saw Justin fall from the walkway. Hopefully, her testimony might clear up what happened. Bailiff, please escort Miss Tudor to the witness stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the courtroom. This probably is Rika's first time testifying in courtroom. You hope she'll be okay. She's gonna go in her chinny mood, isn't she? As if I need such introductions, but allow me to indulge you all. Oh lord, she's seriously doing that here? I am Morika Torari, Dark Lord of Arnatax, the High Mage of the Candy of Flame, and the business perpetrator of the sweet conflicts. I see. I was not aware we were in the presence of such a renowned individual. Wait, does he actually believe her? Your Honor, Mocha Tutor is the owner of the local cafe in the Order next. But isn't she also the High Archmage? I am! No, she really isn't. Tyrion, you're ruining my flow! Yeah, stop bringing her flow, Tyrion! You would say that your flow is most disrupting right now. Ahem! Anyways, Miss Tutor, you were at the Onyx refinery on the night of the accident, and you witnessed the moment that the victim fell off the walkway. Am I correct? Yeah, you're right. That's right. According to your statement, you ran up to Morrison after you saw Justin fall into off the walkway. The problem is that there's a contradiction between both of your testimonies. There was a contradiction? Morrison testified that he didn't see the victim fall. He didn't see the victim fall until after you approached him. This wouldn't make sense, though. You saw the victim fall off the walkway before you ran up to Morrison. Morrison couldn't have possibly seen the victim fall again after that. Or what if he did? Ooh. What if we got some illusion magic going on? Oh! What if I stumbled upon something? What if they both saw the victim fall? I knew there was something going on. Oh, I think I see what happened. You too? I think you're misunderstanding what I said before. I misunderstood you? That would be the first, probably. If that's true, could you please testify to the court exactly what happened? Please include every detail you can remember. Sure. I was at the refinery when I heard a strange sound from the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the guardrail, but he hadn't fallen into the vat just yet. I saw him barely hanging on to the edge of the platform. I didn't know how to get to the walkway from there, so I looked for help on the ground and found Mr. Morrison. He must have seen Justin just lose his grip and fall into the vat after that. So the victim didn't immediately fall into the vat. He was just hanging on the edge of the walkway. That would explain how Mr. Morrison saw the victim fall into the vat after Miss Tudor saw him fall off the walkway. In any case, Mr. Colbert, you may begin your cross-examination. What kind of sound did you hear? I'm not quite sure. If I had to guess, I would say it sounded like the metal hitting metal. Oh god, that is such an annoying sound. Oh, you guys want to hear a story about work today? Okay, so I'm just, doing my business, throwing beds on the line, as my job entails. And suddenly, I'm not doing anything. The line is about 3/4 full, and suddenly we start hearing this, and it was so annoying. And it was so annoying. And I was like, oh fuck, that is so loud, so annoying. And my supervisor comes and is like, what's that noise? And just as I turn off the machine, I was like, oh, we're gonna need our maintenance guy. Come over here. And it was, that sounds so annoying. I can still hear it in my mind sometimes. Nah, I'm kidding. And it's like, yeah, no wonder, Nitro. It happened 4 hours ago. Actually, it was more 5 hours ago, but shut up. Metal hitting metal. The refinery walkway is made of metal, so perhaps the sound she heard was something metallic colliding with the walkway. Did something shake the walkway to make Justin lose his balance? And I looked up to see what it is. Justin had told me. So this was the moment you saw Justin fall off the walkway. Yeah. And you said he fell over the guardrail? I did, but I'm not sure how it happened. I think something caused him to lose his balance. He tumbled over the guardrail right off the walkway. Interesting. But that still doesn't explain why Morrison saw him fall after you ran for him to help. Well, I did see Justin fall from the walkway. But he wasn't he was hanging onto the ledge? Was there anyone around to help him back up? I didn't see anyone around. I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was just focused on saving him before he fell. I'm sure that if anyone was nearby, they'd immediately try to help him. And you didn't see any other did you see another individual with him? Yeah, I did. I tried to explain to him and his friend what was going on, but they couldn't hear me over the machines. That does match with their testimonies that he and Aster gave you. Did you also see this moment? No, I didn't. I was too busy trying to talk to Mr. Morrison that I didn't see it. I don't even know what happened until after they shut down the machines. If only Rika had seen the moment Justin fell off too. You might be able to compare her statement with the ones that you got from Morrison and Aster. You just need to focus on the other parts of her testimony. Rika's testimony is a bit different from the statement she gave us earlier. Thinking about it, I should have asked her for more details. I was so focused on matching details as Morrison and Aster, I didn't probe her further. But now that we have a full testimony of what still happened, you can compare it with Morrison and what Morrison and Aster saw. On the night of the accident, Morgan frequently approached Miranda and Naomi and Aster. She tried to tell them something, however they couldn't hear her over the noise produced by the refinery machines. They noticed Marika was pointing to the walkway, so they looked there, and they saw a figure lean on the guardrail and break it. The figure fell from the walkway and fell into the vat of coerced chemicals, both Noah's. This is gonna be a stretch. Objection! Yeah! They saw him lean. She said he was hanging. Over. She said over, didn't she? Rika, you said that the victim tumbled over the guardrail. As in he was thrown over it? Yes, that's right. What? Did you see the moment the guardrail broke? No, I didn't. I already told you that, didn't I? But you did see the moment that Justin fell over off the walkway. And in that moment, did you see Justin break the guardrail? No! Like I told you! I didn't see the moment the guardrail broke! But that's the thing, Rika. According to Morrison, Justin Wayne broke the guardrail as he fell into the vat. More specifically, he said that Justin was standing on the walkway when this happened. What?! I'm still going on the theory that there's some illusion magic going on in this shit. Cause I don't think Rika or Morrison are lying. They are both truthfully telling what they saw. But if that's not what you saw, was it Rika? No, I saw him tumble over the guardrail. I'm afraid I don't see the importance of this, Mr. Cuthbert. Are you accusing the witness of pre-jury? There's definitely something going on here, but what? Morika is a maid, and you don't want to suspect her. But you need to consider every possibility. What is happening here? Something bigger than all three of us. They're both telling the truth, you guess. But how does this make sense? How does that make sense? Illusion magic! Okay? We're in a world with magic and wizards and shit! Illusion magic, you dummy! Okay, think through this. If we assume that Rika and Morrison are telling the truth, you need to remember the exact order of events. First, Rika saw Justin go up on the walkway. When I looked to see that it was, I saw Justin had tumbled over the guardrail, but he hadn't fallen into the vault yet. I saw him just barely hanging onto the edge of the platform. I saw Justin fall off the guardrail and walk off the guardrail and walk off the walkway. Jason was able to grab onto the walkway's ledge. That's when Movika went to look for help. This is when she ran into Morrison and asked her. Mocha came running towards us. She was trying to tell us something, but the damn machines were too loud to hear us. She pointed at the walkway, and that's when we saw someone fall into the vat. By the time we could get to them to stop machines, it was too late. And there was Aster's accounts of the events. Did you see the expression on his face? He might have been unconscious. I'm afraid I couldn't see anything on his face. It was too dark to make out his features. Wait, you didn't actually see his face? How do you know it was actually him that fell in? Well, who else could it have been? Aster and Morrison couldn't see Justin's face. That's the only detail of their testimony that never sat right with you. But you dismissed your suspicions, and they just found Justin's body in the vat after all. You know for a fact that he fell into that vat, but you never considered the other possibility. Another person? Is that really possible? We're dealing with illusion. We're dealing with magic and wizards and shit here. Okay, so yes, it could have been another person, but that's the only thing that makes sense. It would also explain how Rika, Morrison, and Alistair all saw someone fall into the walkway at different times. But then, who is the second person? You don't have a choice. Even if you don't know all the facts, this is the only conclusion you can draw. So let's bullshit our way through it! As any good lawyer would do, just bullshit your way through it until you figure out the truth. That's how lawyer works. That's how lawyer job work, right? Any defense attorneys in chat can back me up here? Is that how that works? If I think you have quite enough to deliberate, Mr. Cuthbert, are you accusing the witness or are you not? I am not accusing the witness of perjury, Your Honor. Both Miss Tudor and Mr. Morrison's testimonies appear to contradict each other, but they are both telling the truth. Then please enlighten us, Mr. Cuthbert. How could both of their testimonies possibly be true? There's another person. And illusion magic is probably a thing. Well, I think there's only one possible explanation. Both Mr. Tudor and Mrs. Morrison saw someone fall off the walkway. But the person that Mr. Tudor saw and the person that Mr. Morrison saw were two different people. Are you serious, Mr. Cuthbert? Do you honestly think some random person fell into the vat moments after Justin and Wade fell in? It's the only conclusion that makes sense, Miss Steelwind. Miss Tudor knew the victim and recognized him. That's how she was able to confirm that it was him that fell into the vat. However, Mr. Morrison and his companion did not know the victim personally. They could barely make out his features. They only assumed that it was him after learning that he fell in. Please. It's far more likely that Miss Tudor is simply mistaken about what she saw. What? No! I'm sure I saw Justin tumble all over the guardrail! And let's not forget Miss Tudor's allegiance. As a beneficiary of the Dagon Trading Company, she has every reason to confound this case in the defendant's favor. That's all! That's enough. This is a civil case, Mr. Cuthbert, not some murder mystery for you to throw wild theories towards. Your Honor, should I play my trump card? Looks like you don't have a choice. You're gonna have to use your trump card. Your one piece of evidence that implies that this wasn't a simple accident. Are you sure about that, Your Honor? What? Justin Wade's death was reported as an unfortunate accident. As a result, the city guard put minimal resource into their investigation. More specifically, there is no reason to call the Arcane Inquisition. What are you talking about now? Why wouldn't the Inquisition be... No! Are you saying that? Unlike Ordinary City Guard, I have magic. I have a mage capable of casting detect magic. My bodyguard, Celeste McCoy, scanned the crime scene for magical traces, and she found traces of transmutation on the broken guardrail. traces of magic were found at the crime scene? But that would make this a potential homicide, Your Honor. This is ridiculous! The accident took place within an arcane refinery. Those traces could easily come from the purification process. Miss Steelwind, these traces were found only on the guardrail that Justin broke. We didn't find them anywhere else. We can't be certain of what happened, but it's clear that a mage used magic near the scene of the accident. Foul play may have been involved. So my theory of another person falling into the vat is entirely possible. My client is not at fault for the guardrail breaking. And, Your Honor, I rest my case. Considering this a shocking revelation, there's so much more we do not know about Justin Way's death. With that said, I have no choice but to suspend the trial of Vindictus vs. Draken. You had a feeling this would happen? Just like your other cases, the court won't pass a verdict unless the corporate is found. The judge will give the arcane intuition time to investigate the scene and these supposed magical traces. We will resume the trial in 2 days' time. Court is adjourned. At least we got through that day. Well, at least we survived the first day. But it kind of feels like we're back to square one. Yeah. Inquisition will get involved. They know that magical play played a role in what happened. If you wanted them to dismiss the case against Draken, you'll have to find out exactly what happened. If that's even possible. Hey! Are you okay? You feel a headache coming on. Yeah, I think I'm just tired. Honestly, same. Well, this day has been exhausting. It's pretty late. We should head back to the inn and continue investigation tomorrow. No, I want to take another look at the refinery before the Inquisition gets there. The throbbing pain in your skull seems to disagree with you doing that. Yeah, no, we're heading back to the inn. I'm fine! Really! In the great words of Polish justice, I'm fine! Tyrion, I know you're anxious about the trial, but you need to get some rest. Blessed. It's fine! I said I'm fine! And Gavin's fine too. It's not. You're going to work yourself. You just stay out of my way. Again, your voice came out louder than you meant it to. Fine. Whatever. Do what you want. This damn city. Being back here is really getting to you. That's all the more reason to get through this trial as soon as possible. The soreness in your head doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Perhaps she's right. You'd be better off investigating the scene after some rest. Another nightmare overtakes your sleep. You clench the note tightly in your hands as you read it. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There were so many things that I wanted to tell you. So many things that I wanted to show you. But I'm afraid I can't do that now. I need you to be strong now. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gates as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future. Her eyes. I don't understand. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is stop the execution. If you can just distract the knights long enough, you can save her and run away. You'll have to abandon your home, but at least she'll be with you. As you try to sprint towards the gallows, a knight grabs your arm and pulls you back. Hey kid, you can't cross this point. Hey, stop that! Your fruitless attempts to try to break his grip is striking your hand with right hands, but he barely feels anything through his armor. You continue delivering blow after blow to him, but it does nothing. Your knuckles start to bleed. Infuriated by your behavior, the knight pins you to the ground. Damn kid. You desperately struggle against him to no avail. But from this position, you have no choice but to watch what's happening. But wait! Stop! You make eye contact with your mother one last time. Her body goes limp. You stare blankly at the hanging body. No, this isn't... Mom? You clutch her note tightly in your hand. You feel a comforting yet fleeting warmth from it. Palm! Tyrion? Celeste? You snack back awake. It was another nightmare. You notice that the tears streaming down your face. You quickly try to bring your sleeves to wipe them away, but you realize that Celeste is firmly grasping your hand. Why are you? Sorry. You were shouting in your sleep, but you seemed to calm down a little whenever I held your hand. So I've been doing that. Oh, Tyrion, are you okay? You're not. You've been acting weird since we arrived in Ardenax. It's nothing. It's not nothing! Does it have something to do with your mother? For the past 2 nights, you've been calling out to her in your sleep. Please, just talk to me. I'm your friend, aren't I? You never even realized it. You didn't have many people in your life after you left the Ornax. You only had Miss Tomia, and she never wanted to talk about what happened. But Celeste, she's been there since you started your career. Of course she's your friend. It all happened a long time ago. We lived here together in that old house. My mother was a merchant and a mage. Your mother was a mage? But I guess the gift of magic skipped to my generation. I could never use it. About 10 years ago, my mother's business partner was found and murdered, and they found traces of magic at the crime scene. They thought that your mom did it. Miss Tomia was my mother's defense attorney for the trial. She did everything she could to get her acquitted, but she could never find the real culprit. They found her guilty of first-degree murder. I tried to stop her execution, but your voice started to break. Tyrion. Sorry, Celeste. What? Coming back here has brought back so many memories. I thought that I already moved on from what happened. If I could just keep saving people as an attorney, then maybe I could put all of this behind me. But I'm back in Arnax, and those feelings are still so fresh in my mind. Still the same powerless child from 10 years ago. I know that I've been taking that out on you. I'm really sorry. Don't be. I get it. I know what it's like to lose someone like that. She does, doesn't she? When my dad was murdered, you were there for me. If it wasn't for you, I'd still believe he died hating me. Celeste slowly clasped your hands within hers again. It feels warm and comforting. Has this been the warmth that you've been feeling the last few nights? So, just let me be here for you. You can feel yourself dozing off, and you have to snap yourself back awake. Sorry, the last few days have been a little tiring. It's okay. Just focus on falling asleep. I'll stay with you for as long as you need me to. I'm also feeling pretty tired, though. I'll just rest my eyes a bit. And for the first time you arrived in Ardenax, you finally received a good night's rest. You wake up the next morning feeling well rested. You feel almost a little too rested. You feel really reluctant to leave the comforts of your bed. Celeste, are you there? Your hand feels warm. You can feel your heart stop. Celeste? What do you want? Her eyes slowly opened as she wakes from her equally restful sleep. She drowsily scans her surroundings. She both start out of bed. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Chat, get your mind out of the gutter, okay? Get your mind out of the gutter, chat. Yes? Okay, so now you're working for me. VTuber Studios. VTuber Studios, what's going on? manipulate. Things will be fine, right? Seriously, what's going on? Maybe I'll just keep it on this screen, because when it you seem to be doing better. You're okay, all right? Yeah, thank you for last night. This is totally so awkward. Poor phrasing. Hello, are you there, Mr. Cuthbert? Ah! What the hell? Fear suddenly nearly jumps out of your body. You suddenly hear Aster's voice. It's extremely loud. Look around to see where he is, but he's nowhere to be found. Aster? Ah, thank the score Lord, I've finally gotten through to you two. What? Where are you? I'm using a spell to speak with you right now. I apologize for contacting you in this matter, but I was worried that something had happened to you two. Right, of course. Anyways, what do you want at this time of day? This time of day? Mr. Cuthbert, it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Wait, what? Oh, what? We wasted an entire day? What? 3 p.m.? You missed the entire morning? I hope everything is okay. Did something happen? No, everything's okay. Anyways, if it's already this late, we should head over to the refinery. Yes, the investigation! Let's do that, immediately. Celeste immediately power walks out of the room. You quickly follow after her. If you're heading to the refinery, do you mind if I meet with you two? There's something I'd like to ask you. Sure. Wonderful, I'll see you at the town square. You quickly meet Aster in the town square while walking to the refinery. You and Celeste walk to your destination with a purpose. A little too much purpose. Nothing happened. We're fine. This is what we call in the business fine. Right, chat? Nothing happened between those two. It's almost as if you're both trying to distract yourselves from something. I wonder what that would be! Every time you make eye contact with Celeste, she quickly glances away. Things are a little awkward. But you much prefer this over the tense mood between you two yesterday. Anyways, Aster, what was that spell you used earlier? It let you speak with us without being there. Oh, is that? That was a concentration spell. It's called Send Message. I feel a bit uneasy that you could just contact us out of the blue like that. More importantly, you're a little worried about what he might have seen. Don't worry, the spell is perfectly harmless. I can give you the parameters if you'd like. For the duration of the spell, the caster projects their voice to communicate with the target. Anyone in a 30-foot radius of the target can hear the caster's voice. The caster can also hear sounds of the target, allowing two-way communication. The target must be a person known by the caster. The person also must be conscious. Otherwise, the spell will fail. Alternatively, the target can be an object that can be attuned to the caster's magic. It looks like the only facility of communication. You definitely didn't see the embarrassing state you two were in. Wonderful! By the way, I'm not trying to be rude, but why are you following us? Oh, yes. I was still trying to think of the proper method to ask you, but you both seem to be on the edge at the moment. I wonder why that would be. We're not going to tell you, absolutely. What did you want to ask us? You already told me about the traces of transmutation magic at the refinery, but the trial yesterday really highlighted the significance of that. I can't simply stand by if I witnessed to a murder. And may I join you on your investigation? And even with this boy. You couldn't said that with your send message spell. Okay, but we're gonna need your spell combinomium. Okay. You're questioning his motives for various reasons. We don't know much about him, so I'm still sus of him. He was the only other mage that was at the scene of the crime. And between him and Rika, you definitely trust Rika more. Alright, I see no reason why not. Celeste shoots you a concerned look. You suddenly gesture for her to keep an eye on Aster. She nods in acknowledgement. Aster is your prime suspect right now. He has to be aware of that. But if you keep him close to you, you might catch him in some discriminated thoughts through the eye. You arrive at the refinery and see several knights from the Inquisition have already arrived. Stop, Commander White! What up? You glance at the damaged walkway to see Commander White here with a few of his knights. He seems to notice you too, but he only pays you a passing glance. Oh, Mr. Cuthbert, I've been waiting for you. You two look like you could be brothers! Did anyone notice that White and Draco could be definitely brothers? They're probably not brothers, but, you know, they look like they could be brothers. Like, look at this shit. They look like they could be brothers. Anyways. For quite a while, may I add. Right, sorry about that. We may or not have accidentally overslept. And totally was not doing anything inappropriate! I suppose you have your reasons. And you've more proven yourself worthy of my trust. Although... Don't worry, he's just my biggest fan. Draco gives Aster a suspicious side glance. He appears to have come to the same conclusion that you did. Well, you've given me a little reason to doubt your judgment. I'll leave the investigation to your capable hands. Speaking of the investigation, where should we start? Now that we got the Inquisition involved, we might be able to learn more about the magical traces at the crime scene. You look at the Commander White, who's inspecting the walkway. He's probably your best bet for getting information about the investigation. I'm quite pleased with your work during the trial. I'm glad I put my trust in you. Thank you, but we're still a long way from getting your case dismissed. And showing the possibility of a murder definitely made things much more complicated. I see no reason to blame you. You merely played the cards you were dealt. Honestly, I'm still trying to make sense of what happened. Do you have any idea who the second victim might be? I have no idea. All my other employees are accounted for. I doubt that it was anyone who would work for me. Then who was it? To be perfectly honest, I'm a little concerned about how many unauthorized people were there that day. You have the point. It seems strange that Justin, Rika, and Morrison were all there. And you know, his biggest fan here. Okay, that's all he... Oh, it's you two. And who's this? Oh, just our prime suspect. Don't worry. Oh my gosh, she's gonna get all good. Wait, the hell? Commander, wait, can you explain a little bit? Commander, please don't. What the hell are you two doing with the Crown Prince? What? Ah. It appears that my cover has been blown, as they say. Did he just say you're the Crown Prince? Yes. My full name is Aster Day Weingard, is the forest, heir to the throne of Weingard. The entire time, you've been speaking to the heir to the throne? And he's our biggest fan? Hold on. Ah! I really hope he's not the murderer in this case. Oh, did my... Uh-oh. Studios! Hello! Okay, things seem to be going great. I was hoping that it wouldn't come to this. Oh! Sorry, Your Majesty. I like how casually we're just walking around with this one guy, and it's just like, yeah, this is apparently the prince. VTuber Studios, what the fuck is going on? Please, none of that. I would much prefer it if you all continued to call me Aster. No, I could never. Never seen the commander this flustered before. Why did you find the need to hide this from us? I didn't want you to think less of me. I think this puts us more at the we think higher of you! I admire your work, Mr. Cuthbert, which is why I was afraid you wouldn't speak with me if you knew the truth. In a way, it was correct to assume that. As a member of the royal family, he represents everything that you, Miss Tomia, are fighting against. But he does look like a sincere and genuine person. Maybe he's trying to uproar his own family. At very least, you haven't seen any incriminating thoughts of the Eye of Horus. Anyways, this complicates things greatly. Aster is your prime suspect, so if he did commit the murder, you'd be implicating a member of the royal family. A nobleman is one thing, but it would even possibly convict the crown prince? Well, no matter what, you won't stop seeking justice. It doesn't matter who you're facing. Be man, king, or god! And Prince Assad, you came here to talk to the commander about his investigation. Since Aster has come to you, he might be more inclined to share details. What do you think about this? I don't know what you're expecting, but there's not much I can say about that. Let's try something else. You know what? Let's just talk to him. I'm surprised that the Inquisition is even here. I thought you were all busy investigating Aster's missing ship. But wait, you know about that? The commander glances nervously at Aster. Well, we wanted to put more of our people there, but Lady Steelwind insisted we focus on the Draken case. As you should. I would much rather have you find justice for Justin Wade. That's far more important than looking for some musty old ship. Musty old ship? I was told it was the size of a galleon! VTuber Studios, what the fuck is... I'm gonna reload VTuber Studios here. I'm fucking mad. Also, does anyone know if they put the soundtrack on Spotify? Because I would absolutely add this stuff to my playlist, man. Right. Is this kid for real? Have you discovered anything about the magical traces here? We did take a look at it, and it definitely is suspicious. The only rails with magical traces on them are these. The fact that we can still see them means they were left in within the last 48 hours. It's looking pretty likely that someone used transmutation music on these rails that night. It still doesn't make sense though. Why would someone weaken these rails specifically? I have no idea. As confused as you are. If this really is foul play, then someone knew that Justin or some other person would be in this exact place. Has the Inquisition found any evidence to prove my theory? You mean about the second person falling into the vat? Sorry, kid, but it ain't that simple. The body the body of that Justin fellow sort of dissolved. That's quite gruesome. And if another person has fallen in, their body would have dissolved too. But we can only find some bone fragments, blood, and a lot of metallic shards. Have you been able to use any divination magic to identify these bone fragments? Yep, the ones we found were all belong to Justin Wade. No signs of bones from another person. There wasn't any evidence of another person falling in. Could your theory have been incorrect then? Are you sure that you and Morris saw a person fall into the vat, Aster? I definitely saw someone fall off the walkway and break the guardrail. Although, thinking back on it, I didn't recognize exactly who that person was. The harbor master and I were pretty far, and it wasn't well lit. Do you think the second victim's body is fully dissolved? That might explain why we can't find any bone matter from them. No, if my theory is correct, the second victim fell in minutes after Justin fell. It wouldn't make sense if that person's body fully dissolved before Justin's. Why can't you find any bones of this matter of the second person? Because the second person doesn't technically exist, and it was probably just something that looked like a person. Boom. Nailed it. Either way, Draken might want to hear about this. If the liquid is still validated, how were you able to take things out of the vat? Oh, the liquid isn't validated anymore. When the harbor master and I reported what we saw, the workers poured some of the... Oh, I do? That seems embarrassing. That's a little embarrassing. That's what was that? Yeah, according to them, that solution neutralized the elevator magic in those chemicals. From what I heard, the magical liquid in these vats are visibly blue. The solution that they pour into it turns green. Yes, unfortunately, it was too late. By the time they neutralized the liquid, Justin's body has already mostly dissolved. And if they hadn't neutralized it so quickly, we probably wouldn't have found anything from the victim. I still can't believe that you've been the crown prince this entire time. I wasn't trying to deceive you. I was just worried that you might treat me differently if you knew the truth. Oh, right. Should I call Steelwing over here for you? He'll probably want to see you. No, I think it would be best if you didn't. Oh, I remember now. You're the crown prince. That makes Prosecutor Steelwing your fiancé. Right. Lady Frega mentioned something during the Nightgrave case. That's why his name Aster sounded so familiar. You saw it in her thoughts. Ugh, that Marion. She caused me so much trouble by publicly revealing my marriage to Lady Steelwing. I had hoped to keep it a secret for much longer. Where is Prosecutor Steelwing anyways? She's always investigating these crime scenes herself. Ah, she said she wanted to investigate the disappearing ship personally. She seems really hell-bent on finding the people responsible. Yeah, no kidding. It's not like it's the ship of her fiancé or anything! They did attempt to kidnap the crown prince after all. Aw, she must really care about you, Aster. No, I highly doubt that. Okay, I guess my assumptions were wrong. What? Our marriage wasn't arranged by our parents. She had no say in the matter, and I know that she's only tolerates me for the good of our kingdom. I'm sure she still cares about you. No, I can't tell by the way she behaves around me. Her hands are quivered with rage, and she Can't even bear to look at me when I speak to her. Damn, can't believe she even treats the crown prince like that. Sorry, a Steelwind. She'll treat anybody with a scowl if she can. She can. She's a noble after all. She may be my fiance, but our marriage is purely political. She endures so much because of her name. I guess you aristocrats have your own share of problems. Go back to the town square. We're just gonna talk to Aster and Celeste. So let's head to Mofika's cafe. Rika, are you here? You enter Rika's cafe and find the place completely empty. You see a sign on the front door that reads "Closed for today." It looks like she closed the restaurant for the day. Since the Inquisition is involved now, they might be taking her in for questioning. I really wanted to go into detail about what you saw. It looks like we'll have to go somewhere else. Alright, we have some... Drinking. We spoke with the Inquisition about what they found in the vat, and they could only find bone matters belonging to Justin. Well, that, and several metallic shards. What? That can't be right. I know, I was hoping to find some hard evidence for my theory. I have to find another approach to prove it. No, that's not what I meant. There shouldn't be any solid metals in those vats. Are you talking about the metallic shards? I would just assume that those were some kind of magical byproduct. No, the refinement process requires everything in the vat remains a liquid. Solid matters would absorb the liquid, its magical properties, and taint the entire batch. So those metal shards that weren't supposed to be in there? Do you think they all came from the broken piece of the railing? Probably. But we possibly want to double check with the commander to make sure. This is definitely strange. You'll need to take a moment to work through all this. From what Draco said, there shouldn't have been any solid matter in those vats. We've already confirmed that the bone matters that they found came from Justin's body. But that leaves another question. How did the metallic shards appear in the vats? Where did the metallic shards come from? A metal object was thrown into the vat. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Whatever that object does, it probably dissolved into the shard that Owen found. That's the thing, though. What should the magical liquid have done to the object? It was destructive enough to reduce the entire human body to only a few shards of bone. The object would have been completely destroyed. We shouldn't have found any metal shards in the first place. Right, but we did find them. How do you explain that? Why wasn't the metal object fully dissolved? That night something happened to prevent the metal object from being fully destroyed. force reported the accident, the workers immediately neutralized the liquid's magic. They did this to attempt to save Justin, but it would have also stopped the liquid from destroying anything else within the vat. So that's why we found those metal shards. And whatever those metal objects were, it was only partially destroyed. This means that it fell into the vat around the same time that Justin fell into the vat. If it was a while before the accident, it would dissolve completely. And if it fell after the accident, it wouldn't have been dissolved at all. Furthermore, whatever that object was, it was probably as large as Justin. Do you think the metal object has something to do with the second victim? Maybe they were holding it when they fell in. Not sure, but it definitely is possible. We should take a closer look at those metal shards Commander White found. Those shards might help us identify the second victim. If that person even exists. What do you think about this? Commander White, you mentioned that you found several metallic shards in the vat. Do you mind if we take a look at them? Sure. Don't give any bright ideas about taking anything. You also want to avoid touching them with your bare hands. The liquid is neutralized, but it's definitely good for your skin. The commander motions to the Inquisition Knights. After a few moments, he brings back a large barrel filled with metallic shards. What? There are that many? What could have possibly fallen into the vat? Well, I guess I should get started. Ugh. He spent some time closely inspecting the metallic shards with Celeste. The shards are only the size of small rocks, and it's difficult to find any discerning features. Any luck on your end? No, I haven't found... Celeste? I think I found something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, though. Celeste pulls out a metallic shard with some sort of engraving on it. Unlike the other shards, this one looks like far less damage. The engraving on it looks like some sort of crest. That's the crest of House Von Sanctus. Isn't he the noble in charge of that's charging Drakerin? Well, I doubt that Lord Von Sanctus was the second victim. Aster, do you know who has a house home like this? Normally only the Lord Retainers would have an emblem of his house. Well, I doubt that Justin was the one who had this in his possession. Do you think that one of the Von Sanctus Retainers fell into the vat that night? It's definitely possible, but if that did happen, why haven't we heard about it? Lord Von Sanctus would have has the resource to keep something like that out of the public eye. The only way to know for sure is to ask him ourselves. And even if we could talk to him, he would never cooperate with us. He glanced at the prince. Maybe we could use the fact that the prince likes us to our advantage. Yeah, it's just a thing. You know. Okay, I don't know why my eyebrows are like that, but whatever. Whatevs! Probably because you can't really see my eyebrows. Because like I said, I wear glasses in real life. Some of his stations might have no trouble meeting with Lord Van Santos. An idea forms in your mind. Unless... What is it, Mr. Colbert? Aster, do you think you could help us interrogate Lord Von Sanctus? Really? You need my help? God, he's like a child. In this instance, it would be very difficult to speak to him by ourselves. But as the Crown Prince, he'd be much more inclined to speak with you. Of course, I'll be happy to help. Oh, he's like a child in a candy store. I mean, I shouldn't be talking down about the Prince of Ravengard here. You might overplay your hand by yodeling at Aster this way. I really don't think he's the murderer, though. Cause that would be a really bad sight if the king. This ain't the final. I love him, but he's so much sometimes. He's like a child, and I love him. But no, we have to back off. He's Arias. Oh god. VTuber Studios, why are you doing this to me? I'm just gonna leave it be. I don't care. He's so weary of the prince, especially since he's one of the few mages at the scene. Will this really work though? Celeste, we talked to somebody because you pretended to be a noble, okay? Shut up. I love it. Not ideal, but it's the only we have so far. It still bothers you. Why haven't you found any bone matters from a second person? Because the second person doesn't exist. Maybe you're overthinking it. You should pursue every lead you have and see where it takes you. And to that, you need to find out where Lord Fangstick is. I'm just going straight to his manor. So this is Von Sanctus's house. It's more appropriate to call this building a palace rather than a house. Hug, what's the smell? As you heard further into the manor, you're hit with a very pungent and sour odor. It's almost burns the interior of your nostrils every time you inhale. Well, we're here. You look around the manor and don't see anyone nearby. It looks like Lord Sanctus isn't home at the moment. Perhaps we should try looking elsewhere. A long flight of stairs leads to the upper parts of Von Sanctus's manor. You're a bit tempted to snoop around, but it'd be best not to take such a risk. Detect magic!
Arcane.
We're don't worry about it. We're just putting on a show for the Crown Prince. He loves it, right? Anyways, let's see if Rika's here now.
Repario Arcanum.
Yeah, like I said, we're just putting on a show for the we're just putting on a show for the Crown Prince here. We mustn't let such idealistic notions throw our nations into chaos. You arrive at the town square and see Lord Von Sanctus speaking several to spectators from a podium. There's Lord Von Sanctus. It appears to be giving some sort of speech. You do your best to remain hidden from his views while you listen. Please understand, the actions of the nobility seem callous. However, we only have the best interests at heart. This is the controversy. The Arcane Trading Company is just one of many examples. These so-called unions that men make him support may seem appealing, but they only obfuscate and hinder the nobility from protecting the working class. Men like Sanctus the Dragon are merely cartains. They only seek financial gain by strong arms, but you're a true benefactor. True benefactor? What a joke. I knew that Von Sanctus was weary of Draken. I never expected him to be this zealous about getting rid of him. I think it's less about Draken specifically and about more what he represents. What do you mean? The Draken Trading Company has presented a tangible proof that its policies are both sophisticated, efficient, effective, and profitable. Even business that has no affiliation with him has to start by following his example. Von Sanctus is merely a relic of the past. And I think he knows that his Arcane ideals won't survive in this landscape. I can only hope that our grand kingdom recognizes this danger as I have. The pompous noble leaves to the podium as the citizens ponder his word. Ugh, what a load of garbage. It's obvious that Von Sanctus knows his days are numbered. But look what happened. We let the common folk set their own standards and a young man died. I guess you have a point there. You saw Von Sanctus getting into a carriage shortly after his speech. It appears to be heading back to his manor. Well, back to his manor. Anyways, we saw Von Sanctus heading back here. We should be able to speak with him soon. Wait, Tyrion, isn't he gonna recognize us? We can't really avoid that. If we want to question him, we need to speak with him directly. Oh God! He's not gonna be like, oh God, this is the guy who beat me in chess! Oh, I forgot I beat him in chess. But even a noble like him would have to act civilly around the crown prince with the crown prince in present. I'm sorry we're using you as a tool of investigation, but you're getting a huge show here. Yeah, don't worry, he loves it. You mean like how you civilly embarrassed and insulted him a few days ago? Right, you completely forgot about the chess tournament. Well, it's not as if we can hide our identities from him. It's not like we can pretend to be nobles. I faced him in a chess tournament, and I'm a Draken's attorney. He knows what we look like. What we look like? Wait! That's it! What? Alessio! But wait, what are you? Wow. That's quite impressive, Celeste. Right? I've been practicing that one. What are you two talking about? I think you should see for yourself. The prince gestures toward a nearby mirror in the hallway. You reluctantly approach it. Just what exactly did Celeste do to you? What? Why do I look like Restaurant Rudolph? It looks great, right? Eris taught that one to me. Do you honestly expect him to fall for this? I mean, Mariam Frege believed that this woman, Celeste, was a noble. So why not? He's probably a powerful mage. He'll see right through this. Are you telling me that the Crown Prince is here? Why didn't you notify me sooner? You hear Von Sanctus shouting at his attendant from down the hallway. He seems to be quickly heading this way. Uh-oh. You might want to disguise yourself as well, Celeste. Don't encourage her. This is extremely illegal. Right. Look, you should just dispel this ridiculous disguise and it's almost here. I can't think of anyone. I'm terribly sorry for keeping your highness waiting. Alessio! What was that? What are you talking about? I could have sworn I heard something. I didn't hear anything either. You must be imagining things. God damn! She always gets this, Aria! Good Lord help us. Of all the people she could have chosen. Why is it every time we have to deceive a noble, she ends up being part of our Steelwind? What if he actually has to deal with them at some point? At least she is able to mimic her voice well enough. Oh, Lady Steelwind, I wasn't expecting you until much later. Well, I don't need to answer to you. I shall do as I please. Yes, I suppose you have a habit of doing that. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like he's seen through your disguises. He must have other things on his mind if his guards sound like this. Anyways, Lord Von Sanctus, pardon the abrupt intuition. I have came to pay my respects. I am honored by your Majesty's presence. Unfortunately, I am quite busy with administrative matters at this moment. Too busy to show hospitality to the heir of the throne. He knows what we're going. Yes, he's playing along. He's using his power for our dubious matters. I love the Crown Prince, but we have to back off these Arias. Oh, I didn't. I wasn't. I suppose I have some time to speak with you. The conditions aren't ideal, but at least you have Von Sanctus here with you. You should let Prince Aster make small talk with him for a bit. After that, you can suddenly bring in up the Von Sanctus crest that you found in the vat. I heard about the charges that you brought up against the trading company. Forgive my bluntness, but is everything well within your estate? Oh, that? I simply cleaning house. Nothing more. I've dealt with plenty of men like Draken before. and this time will be no different. I understand that he may be taking business from you, but what does that really warrant you taking such drastic measures? It's not just about his business. These ideas that he's putting into the people's heads. He's allowed these unions to continue existing, and the other businesses are following his example. It's absolutely absurd, as if the entire world has gone mad. Yeah, this one. This is the one. He's the one. Okay? I see. Our society only functions when the lower caste class knows their place. If that is how our society functions, then perhaps it is flawed. We're making good with the prince. I like the prince. But like I said, we have to back off. He's Arya's. So if she could, if it wasn't for a political matter, she would be like, here, take him. And I'd be like, alright, cool. You're still young, Prince Alistair. These are righteous ideals, maybe sound appealing, but they are the path to this order. The common folk do not care about the well-being of our kingdom as a whole. They only care about themselves individually. As if we allow them to become empowered, they will use that power selfishly. If it's up to the upper class to maintain order. I see. By the way, I'm surprised that you're representing Lord Von Sanctus, Lady Sealwind. Oh, right. What is he doing? Is it already hard enough to maintain? It's already hard enough to maintain this ruse. I knew that you recently became a prosecutor, but I never imagined you would be representing a noble. You represent a noble. Don't get ahead of yourself, Aster. What does that even mean? Let's not be coy, Lady Sealwind. If you must know, Your Majesty, how Steelwind and I have come to an arrangement. The fair lady is so keen with wasting her talents on civil work. Given that, I might as well utilize her hand to my benefit. Do not speak to her like that. Oh, I mean not to with disrespect. But rest assured, this is only temporary. I see. So you have an arrangement with the Lucio Steelwind. It seems that Aster is collecting his own information. I see. I think we're trying to run like two different things here. There's like 3 things going on here. Okay, maybe 2 of them are connected, but let's face it, all 3 of them are connected. Let's face it, this is a video game. If something's brought up, it's connected to what the fuck you're doing. By the way, Lord Van Sickness, have any of your attendants gone missing lately? That's an oddly specific question. But no, all my attendants are accounted for. I don't see any through the eye, but he could be unconsciously shielding himself from it. I must ask, why such a question? You see, I actually found a discarded trinket while walking around the city. It had the crest of House of Unsanctus on it. I was worried that something unsavory might have happened to one of your people. Ah, I see. I suppose you must be on edge after what happened to your ship. However, items with the Von Sanctus crest are quite common nowadays. Really? The item you found must have been a product produced by the Von Sanctus Industries. An item produced by Von Sanctus Industries. So the Von Sanctus crest is some of the items produced by your company? Not just some of the items. The Von Sanctus crest is engraved on every product created by the Von Sanctus Industries. As a result, people have come to associate with the quality of our products with the quality of House Van Sanctus. Or at least they did until hacks like Draken came out of the woodworks. So in other words, it's just branding. What type of products did Van Sanctus produce? We used to produce magical accessories for mages, but now we produce all manners of products. In the head of the convince of our kingdom, we are well diverse in our holdings. Oh. That means the metal shards could have come from anything! line of questioning has led to a dead end. Damn it! Is this really impossible to identify where the shards came from? Do you sell your products to Draco Trading Company? Yes, of course I do. Despite my misgivings with Draken, it would be a fool of me if I didn't do business with him. That means that there are Van Sanctus products in the Arcane refinery. You are called Van Sanctus. You are called Van Sanctus Industries after all. That's true. The metal shards could have been from some sort of industrial tool. Just what are you implying, Lady Steelwind? A twinge of nervousness to the eye. Does he know something? Why would he get so defensive over a question like that? Was there a Van Sanctus product in the refinery at the night of the murder? She misspoke and said murder instead of accident. But it is evoking a reaction. Answer the question, Vaughn. Celeste attempts to loudly slam the tip of her cane on the ground, only to realize that her cane isn't actually real. She loses her balance and tips over a nearby vase. The vase shatters on the ground, creating quite a mess of broken shards and water. So, Lady Steelwind, are you okay? Celeste immediately regains her balance, trying to act as if nothing happened. I am not paying for that. Ah! Lord Patrick has completely lost his control and recoils the sight of the broken vase. Construct, I require your assistance! Acknowledge. In response to Van Dix's call, Karen Construct walks out of a nearby closet. Construct, clean up this mess at once! He seems very disturbed by the mess. Is he some sort of killing freak? Acknowledge. The Construct frequents, quickly picking up the shards of broken vase. You own an Arcane Construct? I do. Van Dix's Industries is the inventors of the Arcane Constructs after all. Right, you recall Celeste mentioning that earlier. Would you like one, Your Highness? My apologies, I'm not very interested in using artificery. Suit yourself. In any case, I'm afraid Lady Steelwind must be taking her leave now. What? Remember, you said that you could only accompany me for 1 hour. It's close to being 1 hour, right, Lady Steelwind? What are you... Oh, right, 1 hour. It would definitely not be good for us to be here for more than 1 hour. Oh, does the illusion only last for an hour? In the meantime, may I discuss some personal matters with you, Lord Van Sanctus? Of course, I am at your disposal, Your Majesty. You raised an eyebrow at the prince. It appears he doesn't came here just to help you. But you suppose you gotten all of the information you need out of Van Sanctus. It's time for to move on to the next lead. That was embarrassing. Yeah, that was a bit too close for comfort. Well, at least no one saw through our disguises. Ah, are you an attendant here? Please notify Lord Van Sanctus that the real artist. Oh, fuck! Fuck! She immediately stops in her tracks upon meeting her doppelganger. Aprio. With one spell would... The real Sans dispels the illusion over you and Celeste. Upon seeing you two who you really are, she lets out a irritated sigh. Is impersonating the Steel's wings some kind of hobby for you, Miss McCoy? She looks really angry this time. No, there was a really good reason for us doing this. Let me guess, you wanted to interrogate Van Sanctus without him knowing who you really were. No. Lying about your name is one matter, but impersonating a noble by using magic is a serious crime. Tyrion, help please. Are you seriously gonna have to get a defender in court again? You quickly try to think of ways to defuse the situation. Ah, sorry for the wait, you two. I had to discuss. Oh, Lady Steelwind? Great. According to Aster, Steelwind despises him. Knowing that he was a part of this will make things worse. Your Majesty? Oh, she does like him. Fuck. Well, there goes my plan. Well, there goes my joke from earlier. What? Oh, I see you dispelled their disguises. You do about this? Aster sees between you and Steelwind. That seems to be calming her down. For better or worse, her attention firmly is focused on him. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you. No, that's not why They pulled this ruse under my orders. Could you please look the other way, just this once? Okay. Thank you, Lady Steelwind. I won't forget this. I think when someone was writing that, they just typed on the keyboard and was just like, yep, that's good. I need to go. Well, that was certainly something. I'm sorry you two had to see that. What? It's as I said before, she absolutely detests me. That's the keyboard smash. I love keyboard smashes. That would be slapping my fist on the keyboard. I think Aster has it the wrong way. You saw it, didn't you? She could barely look me in the eye. She's over-flasticated. Oh my god. In any case, we're running out of time. We should head back to the refinery. But we still don't know where the metal shards came from. From what Varticus told us, I don't think we can find out exactly where it came from. If each one thinks this project has that crest, it could be any number of things. But hopefully, Draken can help us narrow down the list. If he did come with some kind of industrial tool, he might be able to check if any of the refinery tools are missing. You just hope he can provide you with some kind of lead. Hello again, Mr. Cuthbert. I hope you have good news. Well, actually, you take some time to explain to Draken what you found during your investigation. You're still uncertain about the identity of the second victim. The metal shard from the Von Sanctus crest is your best lead right now. I see. With that said, do you have any tools that you have purchased from Von Sanctus Industries? I do. He personally sold me quite a few when I first arrived in the city. I even purchased the security system from the refinery building for him. Really? Did you purchase anything else from him? Well, he also tried to sell me some of those arcane constructs. He told me if I could be the first person in Onyx to own such an innovating technology, but I turned him down. Really? But they seem so useful. I don't feel comfortable trusting machines to handle the work here. Those constructs require very specific instruction, and they lack common sense. That's true. We saw how unreliable they could be during the Nightgrave case. He heavily emphasizes how exclusive this deal would be for me. Looking back on it, he was probably trying to make me depend on his services. Yeah, I guess he made the right choice by refusing his offer. Anyways, have any of those tools from Von Sanctus Industries have been reported missing? The Inquisition actually asked me the same question, so I took some time today to check my inventory. How did the Inquisition ask him? Did Steelwind come to the same conclusion that you did? There was one tool that was unaccounted for. Really? What kind of tool was it? A rod of mending. It's a large tool that we use to repair damage on the machines. A tool for repairs. How large was it? Quite large, actually. It's called a rod, but it's more like a large syndical tool. It requires 2 people to properly carry and use it. Wait! A repair tool like that could use transmutation magic, right? That's right! What if the rod of mending was the thing that weakened the guardrail? Is that possible, Draken? I suppose that is possible. Now that you mention it, I recall there being a way to reverse its effects. You never even considered the transmutation trace it was left by an artificery tool. That does lift some suspicion off Aster. Someone could have sabotaged the rail with the rod, and they might have thrown it into the vat to cover their tracks. But it didn't completely dissolve. That would mean that they threw the rod in close to and Justin fell off the walkway. It can't be a coincidence that these 2 events happened so close to each other. And we still have no idea who actually broke the guardrail. We did find the second body in the vat, and we didn't find a second body in the vat, and we don't have evidence that proves the second victim even exists. I feel as if we have some more questions than answers at the moment. We have learned a few new facts about the case, though, and the Inquisition has verified some traces of transmutation magic on the guardrail. The burden of proof is still upon the prosecution to prove that Draken is at fault. Even if Steelwind has a proper explanation for that, I can encounter her with facts that we've learned thus far. I just hope that the trial goes smoothly as you're describing. Oh, it absolutely won't. But it will. In the end. Eventually. It's gonna be complicated, but fun. It really does. But knowing that would just needlessly stress him out. Regardless, I appreciate the work that you have done thus far. I'll leave things in your very capable hands. You just hope that you don't encounter any more curveballs tomorrow. And again, I'm starting to feel that time of stuff where I feel like I can't continue on much longer. It's like I would love to continue, but unfortunate. My body ain't feeling so well. But don't worry. In the great words of the Fool's Justice, I'm fine. I don't know why that's always my go-to when I have to tell people I'm fine. Like, I'm glad people still show up even though I'm not streaming as long as I usually go, like 2.5 hours and such, but it's just I need to, make sure that I don't die, Because how can I solve murders if I die? So we are actually gonna go raid somebody. I might not be around on Saturday, even though I have maybe something planned there. But I just have a lot of plans Saturday, and things might have to change. And I'll try to keep everybody in the loop on either Blue Sky or the Discord. So just make sure to keep it cool and everything. And we're gonna go raid Buffer. And I'll see you guys probably Saturday or next